and Mike with Stranger Fruit inspired this piece right here. Bear with me because I've never done it publicly. And I think, hello? Hello. Well, hello. I don't think I need this anyway. So I titled it Stranger Fruit, like I said. Okay. So I'm going to start with first reciting the strange fruit that she sung earlier. Strange fruit. Southern trees bear strange fruit. Blood on the leaves and blood on the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant south. The bulging eyes and the twisted mouth. Scent of magnolias, sweet and fresh. Then a sudden smell of burning flesh. Here's the fruit for the crows to pluck. For the rain to gather, for the wind to suck. For the sun to rot, for the trees to drop. Here's a strange and bitter crop. Stranger fruit. Awesome sun rays beaming down on beautiful black seeds that grow from a damaged and broken surface, with strong roots to bear beautiful fruit or weather any storm, deep-rooted in purpose. As they grow along the vine in the essence of sunshine, radiant and tall, suddenly, ruthlessly ripped, uprooted off the wall. Before the cycle of growth was complete, sadly, this strange cycle continues to repeat. The stranger fruit that oddly continues to produce, even when its own reproduction is constantly in pursuit. Even when lies seem relevant, this is the relevant truth. You can pretend that you can't see, hide your eyes and be blinded by the narratives by the police. Turn a deaf ear when you hear the cries of the loved ones who now mourn love lost. Suffocate in silence, slowly dying inside because you don't speak out to this hateful violence. Know that words have power. And if you don't choose to yell out, it's fucking murder. That was my mother, my father, my son, my daughter, sister, brother. You will fade out like the rest of those alike, where darkness dwells and there is no light. Now you don't matter. Yup, ignorance is bliss. Walking around with that I don't owe you shit arrogance while we still dying. You still being silent? Know that to advance as a people, we must love one another. We must provide for each other, educate and motivate each sister, each brother. Waiting for them others will only result in more gunshots, more bloodshed, more black and brown bodies dead. Intentional misrepresentation of cultures. Videos in your face, narrated and covered, depending on political order, with our heads on the chopping block. Yeah, this is the often consumed but never digested, the stranger crop.
I want to talk about the psychological impact that all of you have suffered as a result of being so close to this violence, as a result of having someone that you loved, someone that you birthed into the world, taken away at the hands of cops, and about that violation of trust. And if you can kind of talk to me about how you have progressed from that moment to now, I'd like for each of you to just share your piece on that if you don't mind. And introduce yourself as you go, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vina Sterling. I'm the auntie of Alton Sterling. They still killing niggas, so I haven't progressed. I'm still in the same spot where they laid him down. I'm still there. And I will not be moved. I shall not be moved ever until those police officers are arrested. And it's so many of them. His story is my story. Her story is my story. Just different children. They're killing our children. And you know what? If you don't stand up behind saying it, something's wrong with you. I hear people say all the time, it don't matter to me because it's not me. It's not you today. Tomorrow it's you. And guess who's going to stand with your ass? Us.
It affects a whole family, a whole community, and to see it over and over and over again, you relive that pain, so there's no coming back. So my mission is to do today is to change that, to take that pain and put it to purpose. We lost our trial from a cover-up police when they killed my 17-year-old grandson, running away from the police, fearing for his life, shot twice in the back, laid there dead, and covered up. Gun planted on the scene. The coroners were not called. The coroner, being the honest man that he was indicted because he ruled a cop suicide, which he said a black person shot and killed him, but he killed himself. They ruled it, they had it all over the nation, where all the police departments and this black man killed this cop. No, that coroner ruled it homicide. Suicide. So therefore, they had to get him out of there. The cop killed himself, and they wanted to put that on a black person. So they indicted the coroner on a technicality. So when he ran for re-election, they wanted to send him to jail. All this in preparation so he wouldn't be for that trial to help to fight the system over my grandson. But you would never know unless you walk into these shoes, so we just fight for your child. You know, we fight for change in legislation so this can stop. We may not get it this generation, but we have those little kids we have to continue to fight. So in turning this pain into purpose, that's what gives us life. Some parents don't recover. They die of a broken heart. Incidents are swept under the rug. They don't have the strength to fight. They don't know who to turn to because sometimes our community people, they're turning their backs on you. I had that happen in the community. Well, yeah, family too. And so you sometimes feel you're left fighting alone. You're left fighting a big monster all by yourself. But America's waking up. We see it happening on a daily basis. There's been over 1,300 people killed by police, and I may be wrong by the statistics just this year. They're averaging over 1,000 per year. And it's just the 9th month, and we're at that quarter already.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just going to pass it on to my daughter, because this is something you'll never recover from. So it would take getting help and counselors, but you don't want anybody counseling you on how to deal with a lost loved one, killed by the one that's supposed to protect you and serve you. That's a hard pill to swallow. It's like they're doing it as a hobby today. A sport. Yep.
We had just went to trial this past February or March, right? We lost the whole case, and it's just hard because, like, you know, it's just like, Mike, you know, there's a video, and it shows my son running from this cop. And it's not only just the one cop on the scene, it's 5 of them on the scene. They all chasing my son. But only one of them got their gun out, pursuing him. Like a fucking animal, like chasing him down like this. But he couldn't get, he was too slow. You know what I'm saying? So the cop shot my baby once in the back. That wasn't enough for him. I guess he wasn't satisfied with that. Like, first he already back towards you, running, trying to get the fuck away from you. Running for his life. Then you shoot him again. And my son fall flat on his face. But yet, the narrative they put out was that my son, as he was running, now, his pants hang off his butt, like you know, and he's running. He go to do like this so he can get the fuck out of there. The narrative was, he's turning around with a gun. Like this. Got pictures of it in the courtroom. It's supposed to be an expert. It's a dude in the courtroom doing 2 pieces of paper like this, talking about some, oh, your son had to be shot while he was going down because look at the trajectory. See? I'm like, what the fuck? What? How is this legal? How is this legal? How is this being able to be presented to the public, right? And it's filed away and everything. And like, wait a minute, y'all gonna go with the cop? Y'all gonna side with the cop? Like, y'all found the gun by my son somewhere out of my son. What did they say? Out of his reach. So we sent the officer putting shit on the scene through a video from a dash cam. This is being shown in the courtroom. They looking at all the 12 strangers. Well, we had 11. We had to dismiss somebody or some shit. But we had these people that's unqualified. Like y'all can say that my son's life don't matter for real? And then to look at people's face after your case is over with, and they just like, so what happened? That shit eat you up inside, dude. That eats you up inside. So psychologically, no, man, it's a piece of me that's gone forever. Forever, and it ain't coming back. I don't even fucking want it back. I'm so woke, man. I am so woke, man. I don't have the luxury of going home at night, closing my eyes, saying, oh, it's gonna be alright. No, the fuck it's not. It's not alright, and it won't be alright. This shit's constantly happening. Right now, somebody losing their child. Y'all know that feeling when y'all think it's your baby, and you, who was it? Oh shit, that wasn't my baby. We ain't got that shit no more. We don't have that, and that's why we steady fight to bring awareness. I don't have a moment where my anxiety is not at this shit is hard coming to this. It's hard for us to come to this. It's hard, y'all. And for sometimes, it takes me weeks to stop stuttering. I know it's just a screening to y'all, but this shit cuts deep. I watched the whole thing this time, Mike. You know how? You sit right there most of the whole damn time, Mike. Thank you, man. Because sometimes I'm not strong enough, but I got to be. This is why. You know what I'm saying? We need everybody to see this injustice and feel it. Feel that shit, because it's real.
Basically, everybody just seen what my family go through. You know, every day is still different. I miss them a lot. We have a few changes going on in St. Louis. Right now, we protesting that store right now. I'm trying to shut it down. They played a big part. They played a big part in the cover-up, and they're not taking accountability. Right now, I have probably 60, 70 people at the store right now, shutting it down, making sure people don't go up in there and buy anything. The biggest thing with the store, you seen on the film that they do a lot of boarding, but they sell a lot of dormant. They sell a lot of stuff over the counter. You're not supposed to sell senior cigarettes in St. Louis either. So anything we can catch them on, we try to get them up out of there. They came to me and asked me how much would it take for us to leave.
Oh.
Wow. The fuck?
Okay.
The thing about it is I can't be bought out.
Come on,
I
man.
can't sell out. And the reason why I say that is because, was it 3-4 days after Michael was murdered? 10 days after Michael was murdered, Cigarillo Company came to the family. And met us at the lawyer's office. Offered us $3.6 million to put Mike's face on all different types of rappers. It was like a table a little longer than this.
Whoa.
I thought it was real disrespect.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I thought it was real disrespect.
Yes.
This is the first time me and Leslie had a disagreement. I really don't speak on her, but she wanted to do it. I didn't. They couldn't do it without both parents' signatures.
I'm glad you didn't do it.
So what I would have did was disrespected everyone that stood out there. Tear gas, pepper spray, rubber bullet. Everybody that stood up for the family, I would have disrespected them. Then I couldn't take no payout out of the people that stood up for the family, you know, and just do them like that. So I had to be real with my community.
That's real.
Two, when I said, this guy Bob, he's gone now. This is last year. We got him out of there. Yeah. We got a black prosecutor now. And
have two other panelists up here, and one is Dr. Darron Smith, who's a psychologist. He studies sociology and all of those things as well. What you witnessed in terms of the character assassination and how that kind of adds to the grief or affects the grief process. What is your observation on that?
Well, whenever you lose anybody that you value, you love, folks suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. It's hard to get over these kinds of things, particularly when they play out over and over and over again in your mind. You lay down at night, you try to go to sleep at night, you see it play out over and over again. And sometimes it can be a source of sickness and frustration. But actually, what you're doing, as difficult as it is, it's actually healthy for you to do it, to get it out, as opposed to holding it in. I can't imagine what y'all have been through. I've seen the stories. It's bullshit. I agree with you. It's fucked up. It's a part of our history. It sucks. I read some of the transcripts about your son. I was particularly interested in the narrative by Darren Wilson, which sounds so familiar. He looked like a demon.
Right.
I mean, always trying to personify black people as monsters, as overly sexed, overly crazed. They even go as far as say they, meaning folks who are in power, usually white folks who do this kind of shit, generally speaking, is that they generally see, and this is true, a true story, black children are thought to be older than they appear.
That's right.
And they're treated as such.
That's right.
And discipline, when it comes to school discipline, when it comes to criminal justice, black folks get it hard. But it's been going on for a long, long time, and there's not been a lot of movement in terms of making justice really what it's supposed to be. So these folks got to go through this shit, relive it every day, watching other folks go through it, and then of course post-traumatic stress sets in again because it keeps playing out in the mind. So how do we deal with this? How do we get folks to a point to where they can heal from these kinds of atrocities? And it's going to have to take something between moral commitment. This is where you come in, AJ. Moral commitment. Something between really having a justice system that works and empathy. What I see a lot is the lack of empathy that people have for one another. And when I was watching this video, I couldn't help but notice that most of the perpetrators in this video were Republican. I just had to say that. They seem to be Republicans. And so what I know of Republican ideology, don't give a shit about black folks. Democrats don't either, but certainly Republicans don't give a shit about black folks. So you can see that play out in this thing. So I can be, I know saying that up in here, I know there's probably some spies up in here and shit. But it's true. It's true. That's what I see. That's what I see. And so, I don't know how to correct that problem. So I'm hoping that you're right. This movement that y'all talking about is happening because I don't see it. I've been teaching this shit for 25 years about race. I'm still talking about the same shit I talked about 25 years ago to a newer generation of people. So we can't have these conversations in school. Where can we have them at? If we can't talk about this in a place where folks are empathic enough to hear, then what do we do this in? What are people left to do? Like the Browns, the Sterlings, when they have no justice. They take the shit out on the community. They got to get it out somehow. So if we want to change the way this shit is going down, we have to have a drastic, completely overhaul, in my opinion, of the Constitution, because it doesn't represent any of us in here anymore. It's an old-ass document, needs to be amended. Y'all know how that's going to go down, right? 50 states trying to amend it. Can you imagine that? They'd be fighting for 20, 30 years before anything happened. In fact, one of those amendments, 14th Amendment, was just amended in Mississippi in 2014 or some shit like that. I mean, these people are for real. So the only way to, in my opinion, to combat this is exactly what you folks are doing. And we need to get in behind these folks as well and recognize that it could be our children tomorrow. I mean, it's that real. So my advice to you, all of you, wonderful people who are doing this, is to, first of all, don't blame yourself for this. Like Brown Senior, I heard you talk about that. I'm telling you.
It's easy for you to say.
Let me tell you who to blame. Blame white supremacy.
Well,
Blame white
there's a
supremacy.
whole lot of points of people that plays a part in it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
For creating the conditions whereby your son and all these other folks are seen as criminals before they even have a chance to have a damn voice. So, I think, in my opinion, we give folks power when we when they're complicit in their own marginalization. So the fact of the matter is, I would tell you, man, I tell everybody, don't blame yourself. I know it's hard to say that, but if you're a black man,
I don't need to cut you off.
but not that's all. I feel y'all for so many reasons, man. Because it wasn't that long ago in 2014, my ass was indicted too, federally and all. I went through all that shit. 3-4 years of trying to prove my innocence. When they making up shit just to fit the case. So I feel you on that. I deeply feel you on that. In terms of the loss of your children, it shouldn't have happened. Their death shouldn't be in vain. And this should be a rallying cry for everybody in the country to do something about this injustice once and for all. And sadly, it ain't gonna happen until white folks get involved.
Right.
It ain't gonna happen.
Let's let him have a counter.
Yeah,
to
go.
what you're saying.
Respond back to that.
Only thing I was gonna say was, every parent that loses a child, man, they blame themselves. You have to be in them shoes to understand what I'm talking about. Anybody can say that. Hey, well, don't blame yourself. You lose your child, and you be talking different. The reason why I say that is because we bound to protect a child at all times. So when you're not trying to protect your child before they get murdered, hurt, killed, whatever, you blame yourself. Now what I am going to say is, I'm working on 1% of forgiving myself. Got 99 to go. You know what I'm saying? That's a process I have to go through. It's nothing nobody can help me with. I have to do that myself. I'm going to give Darron Wilson 1%. 99, he had to work on himself. Right now this man crying about he can't get no job. His life is in a big mess right now. But you got your son. Oh, your wife leaving? Good. I don't care. Look what we going through. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that it starts with self, and then you can work around. Now, what I have been doing since 2014 is coming to these families. These families help me heal.
That's right.
But how can they help me heal for real when I'm still beating myself up? So now they came to, I have to give myself 1%. I have to work on it. My body different from being angry. I feel all type of stuff going on now. Because of that hate, that pain, want to find this person. Oh yeah, I've been on mission. But is they gonna help me? You know what I'm saying? So where I have to get into myself, into tune with myself so I can be around longer. Because I have other children. And I can't be selfish towards them off one loss. Because they looking for love and daddy too. When I'm focused on something that's important to me, but they are too.
That's right.
So I have to open my book back up and not keep it closed, brother. So that's where I'm at.
That's good.
I think there's a Mike Brown Foundation, but we need that kind of information so that we can spread it and so that we can give. And then some of us need to give up getting our nails and feet done so much and getting our hair done so much and give money to help promote this cause, okay? So I need to know that, and then if I can make one quick statement, is that I don't want us to get it twisted that this is a black against white. It's really an evil. It's really a good against evil. And evil can be in any color person, okay?
Right now, this is a black and white thing.
No, it's really not. Well, I don't see it that way. I just said I don't want us to get it twisted because
it's not twisted. It's
because you can have a black officer wearing a blue suit
and he can kill.
And he can have evil in his heart against black boys and men. okay?
It's racist.
So that's what I want to say. This is about saving our black boys and men from whatever evil there is loosed in this country that is killing them and using them as target practice.
Okay, so I understand both of your standpoints from there, because while this is not about black people against white people, the idea of this kind of innate white righteousness and this ability to do whatever you want in whatever turn to take black lives and not be held accountable, that is where we get into the race mix, and we do need white people involved to stop this from happening. We have some people here from SURJ, Stand Up for Racial Justice. This is an organization comprised completely of white people who have decided to stand in the gap and to stand in defense of black people. That is called being an ally. That's something that we all need. We talked a little bit about the moral responsibility when it comes to things like this, when it comes to incidents like this. In the film there, we saw several white folks. They were Republican and Democrat, so I want to stress that. In that film, that were complicit and went along with this cover-up. In Memphis, the dynamics are a little different. We have black people in those positions that are doing that. That are the gatekeepers, who are the ones that cover up and help sweep things under the rug. So, and a lot of times our ministers are pulled in to come out only when it's convenient, right? And they take a little paycheck, and they come out and say, everybody stay calm. That's the message to black people. So I want to talk about Dr. Andre Johnson. He's a professor at the University of Memphis, as is Dr. Darron Wilson, but he's also a minister. And I want to talk to you, if you could give some feedback on the responsibility of black leadership in Memphis to hold other black leaders accountable when it comes to this, because it's not as simple as black and white when you're in a majority black city. It takes black people to be complicit as well in the violence. So talk a little bit about that for us.
Right. That is a good question, and thank you for allowing me to join this panel in absence of my good friend and good brother, Pastor Earl Fisher. A lot of people confuse us anyway, so hey, I can roll with it. All of this, if we want to just boil it down to the morality, we really are in a moral quandary, simply because we just don't believe black truth. Now let me say that again. We just simply don't believe black truth, because black people have been talking about this forever. And no matter how many witnesses you have, no matter what the evidence say, black folk and black truth simply seem like it really just doesn't matter. And until black truth starts to matter, then really nothing has changed. Black truth is so despised that black folk a lot of times don't believe it. That's what you're getting at, black truth. So, for instance, when witness after witness after witness tell you the same thing, same story, over and over again, and you still elect not to believe her or him, then that says something about the morality and the moral quandary that we find ourselves in, because there is no coming to the table to reason and to work out our issues if you fundamentally don't believe my truth. If you come to the table already thinking I'm lying, that's not even ethical. That's not even moral. You are really not being fair to the process of trying to work things out, because that's the first thing that we talk about here in Memphis. Everybody wants to come to the table and working things out and want to just hash it out. Well, you don't even believe me when I tell you this is happening. You don't believe. Even with this film, folks still don't believe that this is going on. Now, how do I know that? How can I be as bold as to say that? Because I think I got history on my side, but we are right now living, you're talking about the crucifixion of a character. We are living right now with Beauchamp's self, John's death. That's the brother that got shot in his apartment in Dallas.
Yes.
And just the other day, during his funeral, not after, during, the report comes out saying something about, oh, we found marijuana in the apartment. So the character, and people are running with, like, oh, well, why are you searching this apartment in the first place? But that's not even the point. The point is that it is going to get enough play that a new narrative is going to be propagated in the media. Now, this is what I study. How these narratives are rhetorically effective. How do they grow and how do they become stories in and of themselves? So, went to Ferguson, did research, working on a couple of books and articles about all of this stuff. And what we tend to find out, again, is the simple fact that it's much easier to believe that black people are just criminal, or just or mad, or angry, or just something innately is wrong with them, than to just accept, even folks that know you. I am really following now this case down in Dallas, because I want to see now the Church of Christ members that just pour out love on Brother Bolton. They just loved him, and yet no harsh feeling. People were like, I don't understand how he got shot in his own place. And then, when this comes out, let me see how much do they love him.
Right.
Then, do you still believe black truth? Do you still believe what you still believe your relationship? And we talk about that all the time. We got to be in a relationship with each other. But when something bad happens, when something kind of makes you question it, instead of just saying, no, I know this person, you immediately jump off ship. And I think that's what you were talking about when you were talking about even with family. You know, wait a minute, we know this person. Oh, we thought we did. Oh, we're supposed to be with this person. But blackness has a way of just making people lose it for a moment at least. And then all of a sudden we can just believe anything. So unless we start believing black truth, unless we start believing what people have been telling us for years, and even if this time is not the time for you to say, okay, I'm going to start believing these stories now, because, you know, time after time after time, maybe, what would it take? And what I'm coming to the conclusion is it's going to take a big paradigm shift on what we consider as moral, what we consider as ethical, wholesome, and good. And until we get to that, we're going to always have these issues, problems, and concerns facing us each and every day.
The problem from where I sit is not a black problem. Mm-hmm. It's a white problem. Mm-hmm. White supremacy is at the heart of this. Right. It is the precipice of why black people are still struggling in this country today. And until that ends, until white supremacy ends, I think we're gonna still be in this mess for several more decades. So I'm like this sister right here. Sometimes you gotta tear some shit up. Sometimes you gotta. Because without that, what other way do people who are oppressed get their voices out? If this brother talking about black truth is being denied, right, then how do you get your voice out?
So the flip side to that would be for what if black truth was believed? Then we will start to operate totally differently. That's what and I think we can start chipping away. You're absolutely right. White supremacy is the foundation of it all. But part of how we change paradigms is actually accepting and believing truth in some shape, form, or fashion. Something you think in one way, then all of a sudden something is done that makes you change your mind. It's just blackness have the inability to change folk minds in this country. No matter how much we cry, moan, yell, scream, say it nice, say it loudly, curse, fuss, whatever the case may be. But it's still there. It's not disregarding it. It's still there. And then it's only when we look back. Because all of those folk in the film 50 years from now are going to be the new Bull Connors. That's how people are going to be looking at them like, how in the world did they allow that to happen? That's exactly how they're going to look at it. And our children and grandchildren are going to be like, my God, in 2014, 2015, I don't know what they were doing back there. I don't understand. Just like we do now. That's like we do now with King and all the marches and all. We look at them and we're like, man, that's so obvious.
I don't know about y'all, but my grandchildren gonna say, my grandmother was fucking their book. That's what my grandchildren always gonna say. Because I go on the street corners, I stand on the street corners, I go in the dope houses, I go anywhere where y'all scared to go to, I'm going in there. And nothing but death gonna keep this from it, you understand? You gotta stand for something or you gonna fall to anything. I'm not gonna wait on nobody to stand up for my goddamn grandchildren. I'm gonna stand up for them. You understand? I'm not gonna wait on somebody's truth. It's gonna be me that's gonna stand up for mine. Okay? I'm gonna stand for Alton Sterling. I'm gonna stand for Tony Sterling. I'm gonna stand for DeMario Sterling. You understand? You gotta stand up. Y'all act like you're sitting here and you don't understand what's going on. Do like this. Say this after me. No justice! No peace! No justice! No justice! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice! No justice! No peace! No peace! This means a whole lot when you're standing on a corner. When you get in trouble with somebody fucking with you, you just stand up like this. No justice! No peace! You're gonna say you're crazy. Don't worry about them. Fuck them. No justice! No peace! Say it!
We have a question?
No.
Yes.
Can I say
Well, you know what I say,
something?
bro?
Yell at
Can
you.
I say this? Can I say
Yeah,
this
go
one
ahead.
minute? You know, I do a lot of speaking engagement. Sometimes when I kick them off, I have everybody close their eyes. And I have them imagine their child laying on the ground dead. You know what I'm saying? Now see, the whole thing about it is, you can hear about it, but when you put it in your mind and you think about it, it becomes you. You see what I'm saying? You can get that feel then. You don't want to feel that. You know, you turn around, you see people in tears. They can't feel that. They can't take, that's what we feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to give them, you have to just give it to them raw. Close your eyes. Think about if it was your mama, your daughter, your son, your nephew, your grandbaby laying there. And there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? This is our everyday life. This is how we feel. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do just imagination things like that to get people to get in tune.
I had to ask all of that, for real.
I want to answer your other question. We got here to a sister over there. So see, it's not just us.
Right.
Because if it had not been for her, we would, I know I wouldn't be here. She was calling me all in the mental hospital, baby, trying to get me up here. You understand? So if it had not been for her, this wouldn't be going on. So you have to get connected to the connector. Okay? Get connected to us because we everywhere. It's Chicago right here. It's Minnesota, Louisiana. You know, you got Memphis. Are you from?
Lulu.
Lulu. I know you can connect those dots. Because I promise you, if you go on YouTube, you're going to find every one of us.
Amen.
I'll be cussing, so don't pay me no mind. I'm mad and upset, so don't pay me no mind. I meant it in love. But yeah, she connected these dots and she put it together. And the next event that she put together, you got to reach one to teach one. Everybody in this building, bring 5 people with you. Because this place should be overflowing. You see? Because it'll be overflowing if the police go kill somebody else. You know, they're trying to figure out what's going on. Well, if you come to the events, you'll find out what's going on.
Right.
You see? Reach one to teach one. Everybody in the building, I charge you to bring 5 people with you the next time she give an event. Bring 5 people
Can we give
with you.
Jennifer another round of applause? Jennifer, will you come up? She's been working on this for months. 0 resources. Some people have donated some items and that kind of thing, but there was no funding behind her. There was no need to get in front of the camera. There's no trying to make a celebrity out of herself. The reason she did this is because it was in her heart to do, and she's been in the community. I met Jennifer while she was out in the streets being an activist. That's where we met. That's when we connected for the first time. And to see how she's grown, this is her organization, Blind Black Leaders Improving Negro Development, because her belief is that we all have something to contribute to this. As she was saying, to reach the connector, you have to do the work. We have a whole lot of social media activists now. Hello? A whole lot of social media activists and people who critique the movement. But it takes effort to know who is doing the work so you can get involved. And as people of color, especially, and I know a lot of times we defer and go, well, you know, we need white people to make it happen, and that in itself is bringing white supremacy into the mix, saying that we need that in order to function. There's room for you. I'm not saying that there's not. There's room for everybody. But the point is we can do this on our own. And we have to know who the connectors are. Jennifer, thank you so much for this event. I want to get you to know
I worried because I caught the train and I called her, she was at work. I worried the hell out of her. I didn't know where the hell I was going. So I worried the hell out of her, but thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Stereotypes come from racism. You know what I mean? They're gonna put you in a certain stereotype, and then they're gonna make it fit what they say about you. So like in Mike's case, oh, well, he a robber. Look at his body language. He's aggressive. Like, hold on, he came out with a smile. Y'all see that too. You know what I mean? But that ain't what they're gonna show you. They're gonna put you in a box so that the stereotypes that's already out there about black people will fit into their narrative to have you believe in the bullshit they put out there. I mean, I know a lot of people here apparently, faith-driven or not, believe it's a good and evil thing. We've always had a good and evil thing. In every aspect of life, we have a good and evil thing. But in this particular issue, it's all about color. It's all about color, you know what I mean? Like, for one, the system was not designed for black people, period. You know what I'm saying? Just like you've seen, the cops that was patrolling around back then, they were just regular people. They were just white people that hated black people. Now, there's enough for those white people who like the idea. It was like, yo, let's make this a thing. And just kill all the black people off. Let's try that. You know what I'm saying? They don't call the shit, a genocide. You know what I mean? They'll call it for the, the Jews and all, you know. But when it's black people, it's not a genocide. But it is, right? Y'all trying to kill us off. And you have to look at that in every aspect of this justice system. And I hate calling it that because it's so unjust and so corrupt that we really have nowhere else to turn but back into the community. And when we look back into the community, that's where our help comes from. And until enough of the community understands that, we're going to have more Justice Howells, more Mike Browns, more Arthur Sterlings. It's just the way it goes.
I go state to state. I'm also involved with an organization called Truth, Hope, and Justice. Just this past Mother's Day, the week of Mother's Day, we gather mothers from all over the nation to meet at Capitol Hill to share their stories. And for some mothers to share their stories and the injustice they received behind a child getting killed or murdered by police, that's a big thing for them. Because most times they don't get to share their stories. Most times you don't even know their kid name because whatever town they is just killed, their child is just killed and swept under the rug. So this year we met with Congress, some of the mothers. We met with them and they shared their stories, and with those who, we had one Republican to show up at this this meeting, and it was during the time that all the Congress was in session. We had about 7 Congress members there to hear the stories. But right after that, a week later, that's when they went head on and approved the Protect and Serve law. And that's in favor for the police. So that was like a smack in the face to us. But also, it was joy for a mother to stand up and fight for their child, that they never had the opportunity to do so, and to share their story, to let you know who they were, who their child was, how they was killed, when they was killed, and there was no justice. And to share that story, we may not get police accountability no time soon. That may take decades, but there are petitions and laws being piled together. Like in Chicago, we have the consent decree going on, and that's a step in the right direction, and that just may be approved. It's on its way, and we're getting some of those officers out. Some of the district attorneys, the mayor's not gonna run again, so that's a good sign, because they were trying to get him out of office. Anita Alvarez, who was the prosecutor on Laquan McDonald's case, who covered up her and the mayor and all them. She was out, got out of there. They got her out of there. The mayor's gone now, so now we putting in new people. It is important for us to vote, getting our voices heard, getting who we want into office. And it's just so, even 17-year-olds, young lady, as soon as you get of age, vote, you know.
Boom.
Research needs to be
Talk to
done.
you. Alright. Tell
So
y'all.
I don't know if that
Next
answers
year
your
when you turn
question, but
18
as we
or
go
2 years
around
now.
different
No,
states,
vote.
supporting different moms,
Vote.
when they have visuals and
Need that.
memorials and
Local.
remembrance for their
Not
child,
up top
that
of me.
helps them and
Local.
it help us to go support another mom.
Start one of them
also.
campaigns. You got the power.
We have
to
a
do
question over here. You need the microphone?
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, the thing I experienced, I done been almost to every state. Hope. The hope is there, and I love that feeling. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm talking about when you got the togetherness of people alike, and y'all feel it's somebody that finally know how you feel.
Relate.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. It's amazing. It's awesome to feel it. It's awesome to be in the presence. So that's what I do.
I've been trying to hold my peace. We sit here and we act like, oh, it's not a black and white thing. But it is, you know, when it all boils down to it. And, you know, you said there's a group here that represent,
Stand up for racial justice.
you know, stand up for race, SRJ or whatever that means.
SURJ.
Okay, so my thing is, it is a black and white thing, and we have to address it as that, because otherwise, we're just talking to each other. We're just talking among one another. We're just talking among one another.
Say that.
Nevertheless, you know, I'm trying to hold my peace. I'm thinking, okay, so why do the white supremacist groups still exist even in this day and age? And what would the group SRJ or, you know, for racial justice or whatever, are those members here at this present time? And what are you all doing? Okay. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so do you all support white supremacists?
No,
Not in SURJ.
no, not SURJ.
That's your, well, that's the case it can be against us, or are you trying to resolve the issue by coming together with us? Because I'm no better than you, and you're no better than me, and we're supposed to quote unquote love.
Let her
No, that's not what.
Are you all
Give up the
going
mic.
against white supremacy?
Give her the mic.
KKKs?
That is our
What do you want?
Thank you.
Let her know. Yeah.
So, first, I have to say we don't have a strong chapter in Memphis. We do have wonderful activists in Memphis who fight, especially institutional poverty. Our SURJ chapter is not strong in Memphis, but SURJ was built on the idea that you have good, I'm not racist, my best friend is black. White people out there. You all know, right? SURJ is built on the idea that that's bullshit. It's bullshit. All white people benefit from white supremacy. All white people.
Say that shit.
And so, by virtue of that, sorry, y'all, all white people are racist. And that's what we're fighting. Our job is to get out there and talk to those white people who are running around saying, no, I'm a good white person. I'm not racist, I'm a good white person. Our job is to get out there and say, then show up.
There you go.
Richard, feet on the ground.
Boots to the ground.
Did I answer?
I hope so.
You can talk about it.
All right, a little more to it.
Get on in.
I'm sorry, there's just a little more to it than that. Showing up for racial justice is the white-facing part of Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is the guiding light of showing up for racial justice. Okay, so we're not representing, if we can say, an opposite side. We're not. This was formed in response to being allies for Black Lives Matter, and I think it's important for that to be a part of this narrative.
Okay, we can only take 2 more questions if we can make them brief. Okay.
Y'all got a good thing going on, but the only thing about it, now see, like you said, if you standing out on that highway and you got your sign up there, now I'll get with you, but see, I know you're mad. I don't know all of you mad, but we got to work together, black and white. We got to work together. We got some bad blacks, we got bad whites, but we got to work together. And next time you have a forum, see, when you are using the attitude and cussing and going on, you're running me away. You know, if you want me, get me in. You know, show some love. I know you love your child. I know you love your child.
But if you don't run because of cuss words, get the hell out of here.
And I know you're mad.
It's more important than these cuss words.
I know you're mad. But I'm sorry. I know you're mad, but if you got children in, see, you got, you know, when children like her, you got children in, and I know you're mad. You're going to get out. But
They listen to that on the radio.
like Ms. Brown, now I hadn't heard
They
you curse.
favorite song
No, you can get your word out without using profanity and all that kind of stuff.
Sir.
Okay, I want to interject.
No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. That's the reason why there's division. Stop being so judgmental. Yes, you are. You are judging someone by their language.
I have a question.
I'm just saying, just
Have you ever lost anybody by police violence, sir? Have you ever lost anybody by police violence, sir?
oh,
You haven't had it. Because if you had, you'd be saying the same goddamn thing I'm saying. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you take this.
See?
Let me say this. Excuse me, sir. Let me say this. This is where we're gonna go. Excuse me. Excuse me. And this is something that we need to keep in mind as you go forward and as you want to go to other events where you're engaged and you learn more. They are not responsible for how you feel.
Thank you. There you go.
It's not their responsibility. I understand what you're saying. They're not responsible for how you feel. This part of the movement may not be the part for you. That's what I'm saying. There's a part for you to get involved with. Maybe you do go to
I want to tell you,
What's our next comment?
in Louisiana, I'm the assistant pastor of the Temple of God through Jesus Christ. You understand? See, God loved me and He knows what I'm finna tell you. So, with that being said, you have to accept the things. That's what I said. See, you'll be the person that'll pass me by when I'm sitting there fighting for your goddamn children. You hear that? God dad already took mine. You want to run away from this? You'll be the person that'll pass me by. Because I'm still going to stand for you. I'm still going to die for you. It's okay. Hey, no justice, no goddamn peace.
We have a comment.
I knew he was gonna say something.
And so I guess the question I want to ask is sort of related to what we're saying. I don't care who answers it or how many people answer it. Is it that they don't believe black truth, or do we recognize that there is some evil, right? And if there is evil, what do you really think is the most productive thing that we can do to support you?
Stand
to
together.
get the change?
Stand together. Because it's like this. I'm going to do a little something here. Can I have your hand, please?
Go ahead,
Stand,
Jeff.
come on, bro. Can you come on here? I want you to hold hands. Come on, like this.
Yeah, lock
Now,
up.
that
come on
chain.
through.
Lock up.
Come on, try to come through.
Any way you want to go.
Any way you want to go. That's all it takes.
We got it. Together we got it.
Yeah.
Yes,
can't do it. God didn't send them out at once. He sent them out at two. You respect that, don't you? Yeah, he sent the disciples out at two. We need to talk spiritually in here because there's some people that's offended by the word of God. So I'm going to bring it to your row. God didn't send them out at once. He sent them out at two. So that when one falls, the other will be there saying, come on. Okay, you understand that? You understand? Okay, so I need you. I need you, and you. Okay, so it should not be another Justin. You can't kill him again. It shouldn't be another Brown. It shouldn't be another Sterling to get killed. But guess what? On your watch it will be. On your watch it will be.
That shit was harsh.
Okay?
For real.
You don't I ain't come here. I come too far on a train smelling somebody to get here. So I'm going to say what I got to say. And I hope you respect it. We got to stand together on this thing. You got to put you aside. Throw you in the trash can. Okay? Because it's not about you. It's about the children that's being left behind who don't know nothing. Because guess what? How old the lady was, the oldest lady that they killed? How old? 75 years old. They shot her down. How old was the youngest baby?
7 years old.
Okay. So anybody still want to hold their tongue?
No.
Anybody want to call him a motherfucker right now? Shit. Anybody want to hold their tongue?
Finally,
hey, let me commend you for still being here while we cussing at you.
Thank you.
Our last comment or question.
I'm gonna wrap it up. Don't even matter who I am or whatnot. Basically, what we here for, and the SURJ people, I salute y'all because y'all know during the white privilege, y'all still stand with us. I appreciate it. I also appreciate you and all y'all. Because honestly, I got plenty nieces and nephews I can count. I got 5 nephews, young black men. I got 1 niece. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Come on.
Something happened on them. Ain't no marching. I'm just saying that. So, but what I want to really reach to the people like everybody like you, sir. You like, you don't want to hurt each other than no harm because of fussing, but you don't know the pain that they go through.
Right.
I don't.
First, I want to thank everyone for coming out. I do apologize for technical difficulties. I do apologize for running over a little bit of time, but the counter got heat, it got real, and that's what my organization is about. Keeping it real, keeping it honest. You cannot sugarcoat things this day and age. Because what we're living in now, we're living in the Willie Lynch mental mentality that they have put on us. And it's time for us to break that mental state. They're not physically abusing us anymore because they can't, because they know we have the power to fight back. So what they're doing now is mentally abusing us. And we have to break that mental mentality. And it takes a village. Everyone has to stand up, regardless of how you feel. Your feelings is not what matters. It's the victims, the loved ones that matters. Because at the end of the day, it can happen to you, it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. So until it happens, because it's going to happen, a lot of innocent loved ones are going to die before we all come together. And it's said that I have to say that, and it shouldn't have to happen like that. So what I want y'all to do when y'all leave here, to go home, have that conversation, all my fellow white people that's in here, have that conversation, have that dialogue with your white friends. If you see something's wrong, if you hear your friends are saying something that you know that's not right, correct them. Because not saying anything is worse than saying something you're not. Correct them, put them in their place. Us black people, destroy that self-hate they put in us. Start loving each other. I'm not going to be here long, but we got to start loving each other. We got to start back supporting one another. Rebuild our community. Teach our kids. Get involved with the parents. Because how come the kids know anything if the parents don't know? So we have to get our friends. You see Pookie and Ray Ray out there, go talk to Pookie and Ray Ray. Don't be afraid of him because his pants sagging.
That's right.
Don't mean nothing. Don't be afraid of him because he got tattoos. I got tattoos.
Yeah.
Just because I look a certain way doesn't mean I am that stereotype that they put out there. We are living up to their image. We're living that image. We became thugs, criminals, angry black women after slavery. We're living up to their image, and it's time to break this cycle. That's all I got to say. I want to give special thanks to Professor Darron Smith. Special thanks to Ms. Vita Sterling for coming in. Special thanks to Justus, Howell, Mom and Grandma, Mr. LaToya, Mr. Mike Brown Sr. Second time he done came to my event. One of my events that I put together. I really appreciate him coming in. You know, I know it's difficult for everyone, but I really do appreciate it. And Mr. Untitled Johnson right here. Wasn't expecting him to be on the panel, but hey, it works out. Everything works out for the best. And I want y'all to do me for everybody in here. I know everybody in here has a social media page. Go on Facebook, type in blind.
Okay.
All caps, like the page, leave comments. If you want to get involved, send an email to blindorg2017@gmail.com. Like I said, hit the Facebook page, leave a message, and I will get back with you guys. Just give me a minute. I have other things going on.
Oh, King. Yes.